on the front of your folder tonight. Hopefully all of you came with your mentally, your 30-second business elevator speech, so that if you sat down by a stranger, which you should be sitting by a stranger, not your friend, because your friend already knows and likes and trusts you. So you should be trying to sit by a stranger. Anyhow, so we're going to go ahead and let them start. What I would love to encourage each of you to do, these ladies are volunteering their time here tonight. So if you have a moment while you're sitting here learning today, to go to their pages, which you can find through our page, and go like their business page. Even after tonight, if you wanted to be so kind as to go write a review on their pages. How awesome that would be for any business to get that kind of respect right away. So kind of think of that as you listen.
Are you ready to roll?
We're ready to roll. Yeah.
All right, without further ado, we're going to turn over the floor to Miss Kat and Sarah. All right, guys, well, we're really glad. Thank you so much. We are so glad that you have decided to come out and grow your business and your confidence through this training with the successful businesswomen. This is huge to be able to take a step forward in your business, to be able to say, hey, I want to kind of put some pieces together that I may not already have. So some of this stuff, because we're working with a wide range of folks who have done their own social media, folks who have attempted to do their own social media, folks who are terrified of their own social media. So we're hitting the whole gamut of things. So some of these things, when you start out, you might be like, oh, I already know that. It'll be like sitting in class for you. Oh, I already know that. But as we work forward and through these techniques, you're going to pick up on little tidbits that are going to be really helpful as you kind of go through in this journey. So kind of listen out for those as we roll through it. This training really came up as a result of a lot of organic conversation between the members here. We have like over 880 members. And between you guys, right? You're all like, how can we do this? How should I be posting? I mean, should I be posting just as much as I can actually get out there? I mean, I really don't have time for this cat. Sarah, what do you think? Should I be posting like day and night? Should I stay up in the middle of the night and post an extra one so that I get some more engagement there? No. Okay, so anyway, yes. So I like to throw that out there first to kind of give you a good idea of what we're about. I'm Kat Spradley. I'm the owner of Cradley and Company, and we are a boutique strategy firm. We focus on brand, web, social, and marketing presence for small businesses that are looking to scale and grow. My background is that I have done this since 2007, consulting. Raise your hand and drink some here. I love it. I have done this since 2007, consulting, and I also teach for Campbell University and for NC State in their business schools. So a lot of different experience that kind of gets grouped together here and gets you to where you need to go on that. And I am here with Sarah, and she is going to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Sarah Riley. I am Collaborative Mama, and I work with businesses to build their brands on social media in a way that makes sense for them. In a way that makes sense for you where you are right now. My background, I actually started my life as a therapist, and once I, began the season of living with children, I transitioned out of being a therapist and into social media, and that was, how old is he now? He's 7 next month. So it's been 6 years. And in that time, I have helped so many brands develop first as a VA and in the direct sales industry. And then now I work with brands ranging from multi-million-dollar global businesses all the way down to my passion, which is the new entrepreneur, the people that are just starting out. That is what I love to do because you guys have so much potential. Like, I don't care where you are in this industry. You have so much potential. And I'm so excited to be able to join, I'm up here with a professor tonight.
That is really not how students ever perceive it. They're like, oh my God, she's going to stand up there.
And I can guarantee you, having listened to this lady talk, just, yeah, you're gonna learn so much as this training progresses. So sit tight, and actually, why don't you guys put both of your feet on the floor for me right now? Sit forward. We're going to get in the zone to learn right now, okay? We're going to get in the zone to learn.
Okay, can I get in the zone too?
You can get in the zone.
You should stand with both feet on the floor always.
Always.
Okay,
right here.
You can do this with your eyes open or closed, but a lot of times it's more helpful if your eyes are closed, so you can really get centered, okay? So we're going to do some breathing exercises. We're not going to breathe with our chest. Chest is not best in this case. No chest. We are going to breathe with our bellies. And we're going to breathe for a count of 5 in through our nose and a count of 5 out through our mouth. And we're going to do this twice on my count. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Are you ready?
I've been in like 3 months. Everybody's like trying to get back.
All right. Now we are ready to get started.
So one of the pillars of this community is getting to know each other. And while I would love for everybody to do their 30-second pitches, here's what happens when you have 60-something people, and I can't do math right now. That's a lot of time. But what I do want you to do is to think of one word that describes your business. So you're going to give your name, your business name, and one word, and that is it. And I know that gets really hard, but this is really important because you have to simplify. It's kind of like being in kindergarten. You got to just shout it out, right? But don't just shout it out, because then everybody will be shouting and we can't hear it. And we might hear something that we need, or that we didn't know somebody did, or we're like super excited to say, I need to connect with that person because it's totally something that jives with my business. So I'm going to start on this side. Is that okay? Or should I go this way? You can start with me. I love it. I love it. Right? Voluntold and volunteered right there. So I will let you go first. Your first and last name, your business name, and one word about your business.
Erica Simandi Homes, and real estate investing. One word.
Alright, that was close. That was close. Alright. Can you stand up when you do it? Just so that I think it makes the projection a little bit.
Kelly Cipriani, Brain Compass Global, Homeostasis.
Ooh, I like it.
Now I have to go
Spell that word.
Glennis Teeter, Amazing Grazing, Adult Lunchables.
Either one of them is good.
Charcuterie.
Yeah.
Melissa Kinder, Liberty Mutual Insurance Security.
Lynn Cookta, Cultural Banker, Home.
Yes. Diane Kinlaw, Revolution Mortgage. Mortgage.
She's a mortgage person.
Linda Lyle was Upperton and Jude. Linda Healing.
Marie Candle, Midwest Transformer Services, unknown.
Down to that. We are going to get down to your word.
My name is Kelly Allison, CBD of Kelly D, and healthy, natural food. Too many words.
Relief.
Love it.
There you go. My name is Christine Allen, A Flawless Cleaning.
Shannon George, K. Cradley and Company, Growth.
Sarah Potter, Fibonacci Solutions, software, outpostLE.com, community.
If you want other people that are watching the video later to hear you, y'all speak up. I'll speak up. I'm Christine Wallow. Wallow's Insurance Protection.
Nancy Lansdowne, Insiders View Child Care Consulting, Children.
Danielle Holland, Atlantic Corp, Restore.
Carolyn Muck, Sawyer Realty, Real Estate.
Caitlin Schneider, B. Blooming Forest, Joyful.
Jacqueline Foote, Parker Grove Lane, Personalized.
Susan Noonan, Glitter Grace and Grit, Dry Nail Polish.
A. Allen, Keller Williams Realty,
Believe.
Martina Griffin, Keller Williams Raleigh, Keys.
I like it.
Okay, I got two. I'm sorry, I have two businesses. That's how crazy I am. Becca Nelson, EXP Realty, Integrity, and Descent Candle Company, Empowerment.
Billy Jo Capretta, Capretta's Home Improvement, Happy Customers.
Jessica Abreu, Limitless Beauty, Custom.
Linda McClellan, Cytoscans.com, Answers.
Answers. I like that.
Lori Luna, Fun Gauging Learning, Parents.
Yes.
Heidi McKinney Simpson, Heidi Approved, Confidence.
Hey, Jody.
Michelle Gladstone, Aflac Independence Agent. Kristen Chastain, Hot Rocks by Kristen, Silver Spit, which is one word.
Katherine Litzkowitz, Majestic Refinishing, Refinishing.
Don't knock the can.
I think you get extra credit.
Yeah. An extra word. She gets an extra word.
Yeah.
I don't need an extra word. I'm a rule follower. Okay. Pam Horton, New Direction Life Coaching, and my word is peacefulness.
Three syllables.
One word.
Laura Pantoja, Knack for Crafts, Fun.
Karen Matthews, Sawdust and Sage, Recycled Wood Art.
I so love putting names to the story.
I'll be asking y'all later.
Sorry.
Melissa Bolden, M. Bolden Ministries, and she stole my word somewhere too. Empowering Women.
Well, I'm Lori Poole, and I don't own my own business, but I support the people I work for, and it's Overture Crabtree, and it's leasing, and it's exquisite living for over 55.
Hi guys, I have two businesses. Michelle Stewart, Pickett Strauss Commercial Real Estate. I'm a commercial realtor businesses. The other one is Smoking Air Wellness and Synergy.
I like that. That's a good one.
Michaela Adams, Amazing Tents and Events. I would say Amazing Tents.
Hi everyone, on both sides of the room. I'm Sechelle Childress. I own a business called Zensiety, and our word would be Zen. A fellow patron, thank you for that compliment. Stephanie Cave. I'm the owner of Barabos and Creative.
Arlene Dakotas, I have two also. Jazzercise by day, I'll say dance. And then Style Dots Jewelry, customizable.
Is it up for you? You go ahead.
Hello, Yvonne Spalding, Isogenics, Energy. Rachel Souls, I've got two. Riverwood Massage and Facial Spa, and then Foodway Spice and Tea.
I may have had a cup of tea before I came here.
Better been if you quit.
It was, actually. Came out of, yeah, that job.
Oh, exactly.
Sybil Hobbs, Keller Williams Realty. Real estate.
Karen Lezer, Made by Mice, seamstress.
My name is Jennifer Hovland, and I do not have my own business, but I do help out my husband and my daughter. My husband has Sell Help Sports Memorabilia, and then my daughter is a micro-influencer.
Grace Banks with Onwin Animal Sanctuary, Education. Number 2 is Voxter Consulting and Startups.
I'm sorry, what kind of consulting?
Voxter Consulting.
Rebecca Bradley, New Leaf Health and Life Priority.
Hi, I'm Francine Zidman, and I am Justin Barkin. So I don't want to tell the name because I haven't gotten it totally yet, but I am a wellness coach, so we'll be working on that.
Wellness is a great word. I love that.
Jody Free, Fathom Business Solutions, HR and Recruiting.
Boss babe.
Wanda Clayton, Thomas Photography MC, and Headshots.
Karen Atilas, Lifelong Development, Business Optimization.
Maria Cup, Care Business Solutions, Savings.
You know, they always say you can't go into a room without shooting at least 5 real estate agents. Got that. So, Krista Absure, I own Absure Realty Group and Home.
I'm Jennifer Kramer. I am Title and Tapas Bar and Unique.
I see it together.
You are? No, but I like to eat and drink at your establishment. You are kind of the Jennifer for that. 9:30. Awesome. Amber Richon Planning.
What's a good one?
Amazing.
Legacy.
Boss. I like
Retirement. That's good.
All needed. No one wants to work forever, right? Absolutely. That was great, you guys. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes to do that. I think it's so important for us to hear what each other does. I think it's also important to know that you have contributors in here. If you're not quite sure of your direction or your word seemed a little bit not like your word, or didn't quite embody what you felt like it should, there are people in here who can provide feedback, and we do it without like getting all up in somebody's business in a bad way. It's just a constructive thing to help one another, love one another, and see other people grow. So I think that's the beauty of having everybody here. So we're here to talk about social media. Social media can be a great place for that. It can be an awful place for that. You have seen social media work for good, and you have seen it work for bad. But we're going to talk about some of the things that people might have told you to do, right? So you may have heard you have to post every day, or you have to post consistently all the time. I want to dispel that myth for just a second. And I'm not telling you to go on hiatuses here for months at a time, okay? I'm not telling you to take a 3-month vacation out to the Keys and hang out and forget all of that. There are scheduling tools that we can talk about later that will help you schedule that and still take your vacation. So we're not saying don't take the vacation. Because if you earn it, take it. I mean, if you work for yourself, there's a reason you work for yourself. It's because you didn't want to work for somebody else and be tied down to something else, right? So first thing that I want you to take away from here is that engagement is king, okay? And when I say that, or queen, I'm going to go with queen. Queen belongs over there. So engagement is queen when we're talking about this. And I really want to hit this home because I have heard so many people be like, I saw this little infographic that says you need 24 Facebook posts a week, and you need 17 Instagram posts, and you need at least 6 TikTok videos, and then you need, and I'm like, okay, hold. And is that only hope that something gets seen, or are you cultivating it so that people will see it? So are we hoping for it to be seen, or are we creating content that's going to get seen? Okay? And so that's what I really want you to think about when you're starting to think about this process, because it is a process you're going through, and ask, what value am I adding right now? It's a really tough question because sometimes you're like, oh, it's National Cereal Day. I'm going to post about some National Cereal Day. Look at this Lucky Charms. Now, okay, if you have this Lucky Charm fetish and you have like a whole bunch of Lucky Charm jewelry to go along with it, along with your earrings and everything else that matches your decor in your house, then go for it. Post that on there because people are going to be like, I love Lucky Charms too. This is the greatest ever. Her whole house is themed in Lucky Charms. Right? Great. But if it's not relevant to you, get off of it. Right? If you don't have value to add to it, get off of it. And that's one of the things that I want you to start thinking about as we're going through this. And so that's sort of one of the myths. You can burn yourself out so easily. I mean, all right, think about this for just a second. I want you to think about all the different hats that you put on throughout the day. You wake up and you are next to a spouse, right? So now you're having to be a person's spouse who sometimes is like a child that requires care, you know? And then all of a sudden you hear these little people who are like, hello, I like some breakfast over there, you know, or whatever, and then, oh, now you gotta put on another hat. And then you get them off to school and you have to put on another hat because you have to go and be your boss lady, right? And sometimes that boss lady is awesome, and sometimes you're like, I hate her, like, right? You're just like, I can't do this. And it's okay, because you can't do every single thing out there. So we're going to give you some tools and tips to kind of move you through this process. Some of you will be like, you know what, I can take this on. This is going to work for me. Others of you may just be like, you know what, somebody else can wear that hat. I'm done with this. I have better uses of my time and more productive uses of my time, and I'm going to give this hat to somebody else. And none of those are wrong answers. So I just want to stop right there for anybody who's like, oh my gosh, I see her doing this, and why can't I do it? Because guess what? You're not her. You're awesome in your own unique way. So own it, right? So I wanted to start with that because it's really tempting to kind of do like that, oh, I saw her and she was doing this and she's rocking those videos. Like, I see Jessica's videos over there and she's doing it. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, I'd really like to get in there. And then I start to film one and I like, you do the hair and everything, right? It's like the first time with my hair down all year, she will attest to that, with it straight. So it's been curly and down a few times. But anyway, you know, you get in front of it, you start to do it, and you're like, hold on, let me get to the window real quick, right? Like, let me get some better lighting. Hold on, let me do this. I get it. So I am so there, and I am just owning that these are my insecurities as well, because I think sometimes exposing that we all have these things where we're just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to see myself on camera. I don't want to hear myself. I don't want to watch myself. I don't want to do this. Like, and then you're like, but you have to. And you're like, oh, okay, well, let me just swallow that real quick and figure out how this is going to work. And so we're going to go through some of those things that are going to help us get there over the next 4 weeks. I think your word is super important, and it's really going to factor into something that we're going to talk about here in a minute. I think they're still collecting drinks. If you need a drink, you're not gonna make me mad by raising your hand. In fact, I'm gonna like applaud that you're willing to drink during this. It means that you're having a good time, right? People don't drink when they're bored, do they?
Drinking can also help you relax in moderation.
That is. In moderation. Oh, I think I have to say a disclaimer. The Successful Business Network does not condone drinking, driving, and drinking and doing irresponsible things. How's that?
Aldolfo at Midway Transportation is fantastic.
Look, we're going to introduce some good people.
Yes.
We're going to talk about some stuff here, and these are called buckets. And I want to talk to you about buckets for a second. You have them on here, but they're also up here in case you can't read this, or you need something a little bit larger. But I'm going to throw this out here for a second, because what you may have heard from Sarah and I, you're like, why are there two women up there doing the same thing? Like, why would they come together and do this? Well, when you get down to it, there's a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of differences. So I hear a lot of real estate agents in here, right? I hear that. But bet you that you have some very unique things about your specific business that makes you unique and why customers come to you. And it could be, somebody said they had a senior living, right? It could be that you focus in on that senior living and you know the places for everybody, 55 and up or 60 and up or whatever we're going with now. 40 and up, if they mow the grass, I'm there.
second job.
Yes. Oh, no, we're good. I can't do it now. It's going to be all ruined. No pressure. So it really seems like we are super alike. But what we wanted to talk to you about are these things called brand buckets. And some of y'all are going to be like, my brand is established and I don't need to do this. And I'm going to tell you, you're wrong and you need to do it, because everybody needs refreshing on this and refocusing, because sometimes we let it get away from us. So everybody's going to do it whether you like to or not.
Not only that, over time, like, you evolve, you change. I can guarantee you, my brand is not what it was 6 years ago. Neither is hers.
Exactly.
I know for a fact, neither of us are the same brand that we were 6 years ago.
So I'm going to give a couple of examples, and then she and I are going to detail out our businesses so that you can see the differences in what brand buckets are like, right? And so that you can kind of think about this in a strategic way, and then we're going to kind of call on somebody to help us out up here too. So that we can do a few examples together, because I think sometimes it's like, okay, let me see what other people are doing first, right? Because I'm not sure if I have a good hang of this, or maybe there's some things that they're thinking about that I'm not, which is also great that people are willing to put themselves out there. But let's talk about a tale of two ladies that run fitness businesses, okay? And they say, I am here to help women get healthy, right? I'm here to help women get healthy. I'm here to get women get healthy. And you say, wow, they're competitors. They are definitely competing against one another. Are you sure about that? I have one over here who works with postpartum moms to help them get back their life after having a baby. And by life, I mean their pelvic floor muscles, their abs back together, their ability to have endurance for their children, stuff like that, okay? They talk about the postpartum nutrition and all of that. And I have another one over here who is the powerlifting coach. And she helps women in powerlifting do deadlifts, and women do bench pressing, and women do squats. Now, are these two people the same? No, not at all. And their brand buckets are totally different. So the brand bucket over here is focusing on a postpartum woman. It's focusing on maybe a holistic sort of health look at things, where you have another lady over here that is focusing on muscle growth and is focusing on some other areas that they just don't touch. And this is why the brand buckets are so important, especially when we have such a large networking group like this, because you're going to be able to want to find your audience the fastest. And if you don't know what's in your brand bucket, you cannot identify if somebody is your next potential customer or not. And I'm going to tell you, I suffered from this early on, big time. Big time. Anybody who wanted a website, right? People would send over to me. And it would be, can I pick on you for just a second? What was your name back here?
Oh, me?
Yes. Princey. They'd be like, I have a new business. I don't really have a name for it yet, but I need a website. And I would be like, oh, okay.
I have a name, I just don't want to tell you.
Okay. Well, so they would say this, like, I don't have a name for it. And I'm like, well, that's kind of difficult to get a domain going, and that's kind of difficult to get design going, and and I'm like, this is not my customer. They don't have an established business, right? It's not my customer. But I hadn't identified that in my brand bucket yet. And because I haven't identified that in my brand bucket, I couldn't say, you know what? I really work with more established businesses, but I have somebody over here who really cultivates entrepreneurs who are just getting started out and really coaches them and is like their brand therapist, right? So I can say, right? The collaborative mama, right?
I'm your mama.
Who's your mom?
Your sister.
I'm not going to say that here yet. And so anyway, you have these buckets that you have to identify, because if you don't, you're going to have yourself spinning your wheels, helping people that don't fit into your buckets. And I am not saying that every single person is going to fit in your bucket. It's not how it's going to work. That's not how life works. Sometimes you are going to get like wild and crazy people like me, and you're going to be like, I just want to hang out just a little bit and have some tequila with her and just see where it goes. It just could be a nightmare. It could be really good. It could be awful. It could be a train wreck, but just can't quit looking, right? So we're gonna have to just see what happens. But those brand buckets really help. So when we talk about these brand buckets between Sarah and I, we wanted to really lay out for you some of the differences between us so that you can see why our clients are not the same people. So I'm going to let Sarah start off with her brand buckets.
Okay, so when I was creating these, I purposefully made them a little more vague. And the reason why I did that for you guys is because I feel like starting out, when I'm meeting with my clients, they are usually, like at the start of the meeting, they're hitting the, there's a 5-year-old here, button. They are nervous because the idea of narrowing down their focus is so intimidating. It's so intimidating at first. And I wanted to make sure that it was kind of broad so that we can kind of ease into it. And it's not like, oh, I have to pick this and stick with it and tattoo it on for my life. Don't do that. My buckets, my broad buckets for my business are family inspiration. If you know me, if you are my friend on social media, Heidi, you're about to bust. That's okay. My kids are the reason why I do what I do. If they hadn't come along, I would not be in front of you today. So I always keep a piece of that in my brand because it is what has gotten me to where I am today. And then social media I mean, really? Why would I give anybody social media tips? What would be the purpose? Now, and that bucket is going to change. It's going to be more narrow focused for me because I'm going to target specific things when I am posting, and even that's going to change. And sometimes the social media tips and the family stuff might overlap. It's not, it's gray. It's not black and white, it's gray. Confidence. I'm a former therapist. Why would I talk about confidence? I love talking about confidence because I feel like, especially we as women in business, we get into the situation where society tells us an entirely different story as far as what we should do. Should we sell things? Really? In this society, and it is changing, it is evolving, women are getting empowered, and the tide is changing, but for many years, women were told, we don't really ask. We don't really go in for the kill. We're not cutthroat. Like, nobody's going in for the sale, but we're supposed to be the nurturers. We're supposed to be the caregivers. We're supposed to be the people that lift you up, not the people that get paid to lift you up. Okay? And I feel like shifting that narrative is one of the most important things that we can do for women in business. To kind of break down those anxieties over asking for money for your services that you're providing. And then, of course, we have branding. Branding. Of course I'm going to. Because it's what I do. I sit down and I call my branding sessions, it's branding therapy. It really is. Especially with new entrepreneurs when they're coming in. And maybe you don't know what you want, but you have this idea in your head. And then we sit down and we talk about it. And okay, so what does blue mean? Like, what does blue mean? Like, you want blue in your brand. What does blue mean? Let's talk about it. And we break that down a little bit more, and that's what I do. So that's why the buckets are the way they are, right?
I love that. I was going to add one other thing. She mentioned the gray piece, right? Mm-hmm. So you have this business that you run, but people get to know you outside of your business. Why? Why do they get to know you?
Activities, what you like.
No, yeah, right? Do they join you? I mean, do they like, oh, let's talk about real estate all the time. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's just sit down.
Are you gonna tattoo
right? So let me just tell you, this tip number 2. People follow you because of who you are, not because of what you sell, but because of the value you bring to them. Okay? This is why it's really important to be you on there. So it's a hard thing for some people to put that out there, and I'm owning it. I am one of those people that I can do this for other people all day long, but for myself, I'm just going to be like a shoemaker with those shoes. Don't even look at my shoes. I don't really shop, y'all. It's not my thing. So, right? Like, I can't, y'all. It just, oh, I know, now everybody's looking. Look at Shannon's shoes. Look at Shannon's shoes. She has awesome shoes.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Too. Nice
Deflection, right? Mine are wax, though. I mean, so I'm on it. I'm halfway there.
I have 3 children, and the youngest is 3.
I'm halfway there. So let me talk a little bit about my buckets here.
Yes.
My bucket, really, one of my big buckets that I talked about is I need an established small to medium-sized business. What about big businesses, Kat? Can't you take on, Procter & Gamble if they want to? Yeah, I don't think so, actually. I mean, would I love it? Would I love if they were like, oh my gosh, I have just heard so many things, and I just heard we have to have tequila with you. And I would be like, yes, let's go have tequila. However, I don't have the staff to do that, right? I've got a staff, but I don't have a staff that big, right? And so sometimes we have to qualify. Now, will I ever get there? I don't know. Maybe I don't want to be there. Maybe I just want to be in Central North Carolina because I chose to move back to Harnett County, y'all. I left for 10 years, and I chose to go live in Bow Level. I chose it. Okay? So I'm gonna own it. I chose these things. It's okay.
Kat,
but
that's a good question.
Yes.
Because I think for me, when I try to choose my brand bucket, one of the hardest things, and I know I would have if I sat in this class 16 years ago, I'd be like, but I need all the money.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's
so
right.
It's really hard for me to say, this is who I want to focus on. This is like 4 times. This, and this. That's really hard for me as a new agent. That would be really hard.
Really is.
As a senior agent, it's super easy for me to go, this is kind of where I need to be. But it's hard, I think, for many people as brand new businesses starting out to go, this is where I want to focus.
And you know what? I'm going to share a tidbit here that don't have anything to do with social media, but if you focus on nothing, you got nothing. Because if you focus on everything, you have nothing. Because you're putting yourself out in so many different directions that you cannot specialize in what you specialize in. I don't care. So if you're trying to throw the net out as far as you can, so to speak, anybody's a fisherman in here? So like you do a little, I have done this before, right? The little net.
The cast.
Yeah. Y'all know, I went to a Sneed's Ferry and I get, yeah, right? As a little kid. Y'all know that you might be a redneck kid. It's okay, y'all. You can pick on me all day long and I'll own it and take it. It's okay. Growing up in the South, there's just like, I don't know, I grew up country, so I'll own it. Every single time you hear a couple of sips of tequila, that country accent comes out. It does, real bad. So I like for my bucket to include somebody that's seeking strategy. So not just somebody who wants a website, okay? Dime a dozen. And no offense to anybody who does just do a website, that's great. But behind every website is a strategy on what you want to do behind the website, right? How many different ways are you trying to bring income in that website? So I have people that'll say, I'm selling some product on there. Okay, that's great. So you're waiting for every single last little sale on there and you're banking on that paying your mortgage. Awesome. How's that working out for you? Oh, that's stressful, huh? So should we look at some ways to generate some monthly income, some quarterly income, some annual renewing income, some stuff maybe where you're getting some passive stuff where you're not stressing like, am I going to be able to do this in a slow month? Is my business cyclical? Am I having to do that? That's what I mean, though, by seeking a strategy out for how to grow, right? So they're not just saying, I need a website, but they're saying, I need a website to be able to grow and maybe do this a little bit differently.
And another thing to keep in mind when we're talking about narrowing your focus, you are still, I can tell you, 6 years in, you are still going to attract people that are not necessarily in your specific niche. You're going to have those outliers come in, but they're more valuable when they do because they're actually looking for what you have, as opposed to me going up to somebody who has bomb social media game and has zero need for my services and being like, hey, I know you don't know me. You need some strategy? You need some strategy? Now, how uncomfortable would that make you?
It happens every day on social media. I mean, I know that we're all on a lot of different levels, but I see some folks that are just in the infancy stages of their business. I see some women who are very successful but want to take it to the next $100,000 level. And we have to like hone in on exactly what we want. A lot of us are very creative minded people, and when I sat down to map out the successful businesswomen brand, I wanted this and that and this and that and this and that. Well, if you're Colgate toothpaste, you're Colgate toothpaste, and you're that way for the next 20 years. So you got to take it down a notch a little bit and then make intentional connections with people. Like these ladies, in a normal world, just the eye view, they would say they're complete competition with each other, right? But actually, when you look at them, they're going to refer business to each other.
She builds people up. I do not build websites.
She builds the brand, and then once you have your brand established, it goes to the next level. So when we're preaching connect, I'm proud to say that I've partnered with a CPA and a accountant who actually didn't want referrals from me. The CPA did, and now we are pinging referrals off of each other on a weekly basis. When you're talking about income streaming abilities, when I say find your best strategic referral partner, it's not a useless connection. It's not coffee and a donut. It's I'm strategically connecting with you. I am intentionally saying that if we are a good fit for each other, we're going to bounce referrals off of each other. So that's why these branding buckets are so important. And the girls are going to help walk you through how to create your own buckets so that you can find your best strategic referral partner. Not just make the best social media post.
That she's talking about this, because we're going to talk about not only what our buckets are, but we got to talk about what our buckets are not, which is really uncomfortable for folks sometimes. I mean, sometimes it's really easy for me to be like, you know what, I do not want to touch a website or anything for anybody under the age of 18, and I do not care how much money or idea or whatever's happening, right? There are so many different legalities that go along with that, the ability to cancel and walk out, blah, 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 it goes on and on. Yet, how many people under the age of 18 have reached out in the last couple of months? Yeah.
At least 30, yeah.
Right. Not inside my bucket. But brand, web, social, or marketing, does it fall into those, okay? And people will say, you know what? I was really want to know if you did cold calling. You know what? That is not in our repertoire of our stuff that we offer. I was like, but I will be happy to get you over to somebody who does, right? And these are some of the things, like what about buying lists? Can you buy some lists for me? No, I don't buy lists for you. But I will be happy to get you over to somebody. Can we talk about some of the reasons why you think you should buy a list? Those sort of things. But because I have my bucket, I can automatically say, no, I don't do that. Early in your business, you may be tempted to go like, why not? Sure, yes, we do that. I will get back with you next week. And you know what you do? You go home and you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta do that, see how to do that, and figure out how to do this, and make some phone calls, and oh, why did I do that? Name it with any other thing. I guarantee you'll do it at least once in your career, and if you haven't, well, God bless you. I'm really happy you haven't hit that level. And then ready to grow, scale organically or paid. So there are two different ways that my clients can grow, and those clients can grow either by organically cultivating, or they can pay to get that exposure, right? Obviously, I would rather somebody go the organic route, but sometimes people are just a little bit impatient. Well, there's the paid route for the impatience, right? And that's okay. Sometimes we just want to spend a little bit more money and be like, let's be done with it, okay? Let's be done. That's okay as well. So what we want to do here is kind of go through an activity. Sarah's going to lead here. I think we had somebody that volunteered.
Hey,
so,
Jessica.
Y'all going to have to phenomenal. See our buckets here?
That's a button.
It is a bucket.
Beautiful bucket.
She custom. Yes, it is what is a minimalistic bucket.
I like it.
All right. So you give your 30-second pitch really quick, and you can read it if you need to. That's fine.
Okay.
No judgment.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I own Limitless Beauty. After years of enhancing women's beauty for special occasions and photo shoots, I learned women had struggles finding the correct color foundation. They settle for what's good enough and what kind of matches their skin. And I put an end to that by creating a flawless foundation to perfectly match your skin tone and provide the correct coverage.
If you have a foundation from her, stand up.
I got one. You got one. You got one.
Does
it count if I have an appointment next week?
Yes, it totally counts.
She's not lying about that. It is impossible.
She has it on too.
To match this particular shade of skin. I don't know what happened, but I have never had a foundation that really matched. Right there, and it's like you know.
Oh yeah, like got me for life.
Yeah, girl.
All right. So, Jess.
Yes. How would you describe your brand?
Without giving away all the
Custom, enhancing beauty, confidence, empowering, pretty.
Okay.
Yeah. Economically, I don't know how many of us have spent hundreds of dollars. And I just use once and get tossed in the garbage. You know, I don't like this.
Personalized. So personalized, enhancing, empowering. I go back to that.
Problem solving.
Yeah. I go back to that a lot.
Jessica, I think affordable has to be there.
Affordable.
Knowing how much, I just asked her, I don't wear foundation, so I don't know how much y'all spend on it, but I know I have a friend who spends a lot of money on makeup. Not that she needs it, she just likes it. And it's her joy, right? And so like I had no idea, Jessica, what your fees were, but she just told me, and affordable has to come into that, has to come in there. When I think of just like what I spent on like, what is that, Mary Kay the other day.
Does anyone have a paper plate on their vanity and they have been mixing foundations to get the right color for God knows how long? I know I have.
I just quit, y'all. I just quit.
I'm a quitter.
I got some tattoos.
Anyway, continue. That word needed to be in your face.
Okay.
I added it. Okay, so we have a lot of words here. Any of these words could potentially make its way into her buckets. It depends at the end of the day on what Jess wants to portray for her audience. Like if she wants to focus on the economical, then that would be something that she could easily put forward as a piece within her content buckets, providing value around the economy of her specific brand, or even bringing other aspects of money saving into her content. Empowerment, I mean, I'm gonna just be a testimonial for face feels amazing. Amazing. So any of these really could be her content buckets. What resonates with you? What really resonates with you?
Can you read that?
I know it's bad.
Personalized and custom. I mean, empowering is always what I try to do because I want you to love your skin. I want it to look like you, feel like you. Because you're beautiful.
So your ideal customer, it seems to me, from what I'm hearing you say, would resonate with empowerment, with women being empowered, with customization, something that's really catered to that specific person and uplifts that specific person. And also, I know we had talked about.
I know, you're commenting.
Hi, I was on the cry last time.
But you're not gonna do it tonight.
Not tonight.
Yeah, I
Makeup
think
looks
during
pretty.
Oprah moments though, like when you succeed or other people succeed, I mean.
Stop it.
But let's dig a little deeper, because I'm, you know,
She's a therapist.
friend therapist. I'm no longer a licensed therapist. I let that slide.
Social media therapist, I'm gonna let you have that gold star.
Social media therapist, how does that make you feel? I feel great. Let's go. Let's design the woman. Let's design the woman. Is she somebody like who has lots of time to do lots of different things and is just, you know, laissez-faire through life?
No, what woman has lots of time to do lots of things?
I'm sure there's unicorns somewhere.
Lots of things, but who has the time?
No one has
We have a lot of things we want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, we do.
So it's a busy woman. A lot of times it's a mom, a businesswoman, 30 plus. She likes looking fabulous, but she doesn't want to have to spend a lot of time doing it because she doesn't have it. She wants it quick.
Okay.
I may have thought about it.
Yeah.
So one of the buckets might be 30 plus. So if she has, you know, teenagers, I'm not saying that teenagers can't come see you.
No.
But it might not be her favorite person. She might not want to hang out with them, y'all.
No.
Maybe she wants to drink with people. I don't know.
I drink the water. Please don't drink with teenagers. You can get arrested.
Yeah. That is right. You have to wait till 20.
That's only if she gives it to them.
Yeah, that's right. If they bring their own. No.
That is not what I do!
That is not a brand bucket. We're 30 plus. I am not. We're 30 plus, so we're okay. Put a trash can beside your brand bucket, please.
I am not.
She is not. Yeah, like you got her not.
Does that mean that she is never, ever, ever going to have a 22-year-old home from college come into her business to buy foundation?
Well, couldn't one of her brand buckets be those parents of, I mean, because you're looking at an economic level, right? Like, who can afford her product, right? I think part of her sub-marketing to that brand bucket, who can afford her, not that I think you're affordable, but it's not the $6 foundation they buy at Walmart, is that mom who's willing to spend the money on the daughter who has, what is that, rosacea, or something like that. Like, that should be one of her brand buckets.
And that could be covered either under the age qualifier or under the empowerment piece. Like, those can be interchangeable, and I really want you guys to kind of see the fluidity in this.
Behind you, Sarah.
Oh, sorry, I'm blocking traffic.
I have to hold these now. Okay.
Because that fluidity is also very important to your brand. You want a bit of brand flexibility, you just don't want to be spot on.
I want to make sure that you ladies are kind of connecting the pieces. I've been in multiple meetings with the ladies, so I kind of can see where they're going. But how many of you wake up sometimes? I know we all post. We're on, you know, social media, but you're like, I'm not sure what to post today. Well, if you understand your brand, you understand your target market and your target audience, then you can kind of narrow that down and kind of hone in on who you want to attract instead of wasting your time. And so we're not trying to waste your time. We're trying to teach you how not to waste your own time so that we can get that revenue increase. But is it all kind of like we're getting there? And remember, this is 4 weeks, so we may end.
This is just the foundation of all of this.
Foundation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I am adding one on here that you didn't mention, but that's on here.
Yeah,
Girlfriend?
Oh,
yes. I'm like, I can't hold, am I holding right? Okay. So I think one of our buckets does need to be this. And maybe that's not fair of me to assign you a bucket. And you can fire me for assigning the buckets, right? But as somebody who is suffering herself and needing products like this, she has a network of people that she knows is much bigger than what people are going to actually talk about who need something like this. And maybe it becomes not even just gluten-free, but there's some other allergens that she can watch out for because she knows the seriousness of something like that touching your skin if you're actually having a sensitivity or allergic reaction to it, right? Because
She
she's
also
not
has
going
more
to put it on
control
hers.
over what goes into the specific
That's it.
products because she's mixing them in-house.
So just as important as what she is what she's not. What are you not?
A Kardashian.
Yeah. I love that, right? I didn't really know who these people were. I'm sorry. I'm like not a TV person, a movie person, whatever. So I said that. I was like, and I couldn't spell it, so I had to like Siri it real quick so that she can spell it, and she apparently knows these people. Why? So I want to thank you for coming up here and doing this, but we are going to dive in now to your own brand bucket and identify a minimum of 4 of what you are and a list of what you're not. And when Amber was talking about the referral partners, I want you to think what you are not and referral partners are synonymous with each other, right? So what I am not, you are not an accountant at Richon Financial Planning. However, that is one of her, right, all her people need that. And those are people that may come to her and be like, I really need some help with money. And they hear money, right? So they're like, they can take care of it. But you're like, man, you need an accountant. You need somebody who is going to take care of you on that end. We don't do that.
But if we can get real good, a lot of people refer me when someone's asking for a financial advisor, and I more than appreciate that. Trust me, y'all have definitely helped my business grow. Pam's husband is a financial coach, so they need Pam's husband before they need me. And so when we're looking at someone who's saying, I need this, if we actually connect with each other genuine and we have genuine relationships and we understand each other's business, then we know how to refer each other out properly. Does that make sense?
That is it, right
This
there.
is what we're working on
We
here.
save each other time. We provide each other qualified leads. And when I say this, it sounds super salesy, but don't let it be super salesy because all you're really doing is helping somebody.
Right.
And I tell you what, that is the one thing I tell people to get out of that sales-minded stuff. This is not about increasing sales. It's about increasing the number of people you help.
Yeah.
This is nothing about sales. Because if you approach things from a sales point of view for this class or anything else, you are going to fail. And I'm going to let you know that right now. If you approach this for doing the right thing for your people, adding value with whatever you do, engaging, truly engaging with them, you are going to succeed. Now, what's our engagement? One that we were talking about here, we had one here about our...
Did I get class 2? We're coming on. Yeah, I feel like that's class 2. Yeah, don't get commission breath, guys.
Don't get what?
Commission breath is fun. Nobody likes commission breath. Commission breath.
What is that?
It's when you are so focused and so tuned in on the sale, and a lot of times it's because we're operating outside of intention in our businesses. We're in that limbic brain, which is our crisis brain. And we're like, oh my gosh, I have to make a sale. I have to make a sale. Can I have this? Buy this for me for $30. She's looking at me like I have 2 heads and one's on fire, and she wants to like.
Maybe you should add some value to this. So
I just got burned and I left it. So guys, we're going to be filling this out. Exactly. Some help in their budget, or maybe to talk about what they support or maybe not.
Hey guys, hold on 1 second. If you don't mind, because I feel like we're kind of losing you. We've been sitting for an hour. Why don't we take a 10-minute break? If you want to place an order for dinner for the waitresses, please do. They're here tonight to take care of you. We want to take care of them so we can have the space next week.
I'll be staying to eat and drink and network. I think the ladies are going to let you guys work on your brand buckets, and we'll be coming around to help you if you have any questions or anything. But if you want food, you want to break bread with your neighbors, knock yourself out. If you have to leave, that's fine. But I want you guys to kind of get focused into your own personal brand buckets. It looks like a lot of you have done that already. But this is going to help you do my word of the year, which is be very intentional with your business.
My word.
Right?
Our word.
Oh, you got it too?
Yeah, girl.
Perfect.
Yep. I looked over the word last year.
When we look at our lives 1 million years from now, we'll know we lit the world up just like that. And when we look at our lives 1 million years from now, we'll know we lit the world up just like that. Summer kiss, blue eyes, a mighty pretty sunrise. Mezcal margarita, my family wanna meet ya. Honey wanna let go, follow all the beat up. Take it to new places, chasing all our wishes. I love you, lots. Enough to do the things to make us work. I love you, lots. Enough to do the things to make us work. And when we look at our lives 1 million years from now, we'll know we lit the world up just like that. And when we look at our lives 1 million years from now, we'll know we lit the world up just like that. Just like Two glasses of Prosecco, the ocean is so warm, aching just to let go and fall into your arms. Fight against the warning, ignore my mama's words. See new auras forming like haloed hummingbirds. I love you, lots. And I do crazy things to make us work. I love you, lots. And I do crazy things to make us work.
Thank you so much for coming out to this. What I do want to say is that I want you to work on this. I want you to make sure that your buckets are full and that you have your definite I am not list. And as we start to go through our next class, we're going to be really working in the different platforms and the audiences for those platforms and really teasing out some stuff there. And if you don't have your brand buckets identified, it makes it a whole lot harder to do that next step of really identifying where to put your energies and to put them efficiently to be able to engage with those groups, okay? And so if you don't have those buckets filled up, please, please, please feel free tonight to just stay back a little bit and we can help you work through those things. Also, if you're not a person who wants to do that, our messages are open. So you can find us on Facebook, on Instagram. Mine is at Cradley & Co. For every single last one of them.
Maybe a fair?
Yes, it is. And then it's also tagged in our little group where we've been doing stuff. So we tagged both businesses. Sarah's also tagged in there. Please feel free to message us on there. So if you have a question like somebody asked, I don't really know if I have a 30-second pitch or not, then let's put that out there. I mean, it's okay to say that. And I say that because there were times where I wish somebody would have just leveled with me, right? And just been like, Kat, you need help with X, Y, and Z, right? Like, I wish somebody would have just done that. Instead, I'm over here like struggling, and I'm like, I'm the only person struggling, right? Everybody else, nobody else feels this way. Everybody else is doing this, they're all breathing, they're all alive, and they've done like a million things today, and I have not. And you know, and you're just like get wrapped up in this, right? And so I really want you guys to have these buckets and the have not list, because the have not turns into your referral partners. And this
have not.
Yes, your trash list.
Oh,
what? That's it.
Your garbage bucket that you don't want is your referral partner.
That's it. It's never garbage. We recycle here. Okay, we are green. We recycle. So if it does not fit in ours, it fits somebody in this group. We have 880 something members. It fits somebody in this group.
Just so you know, we broke 900. October, at the end of October, and it's not possible without all of you ladies, so thank you so much.
That is it. So please make sure you have that, and we look forward to having you at the next class so that we can dive in a little bit deeper.
Sneak peek of next Tuesday's class, though, because I know we're on a lot of different levels. Some women were hearing, like, I get this already, I've already done this, I know my brand, I get it, but it's progressive.
Oh, yes.
It's progressive, so I want you to understand algorithms and the complicated things are coming.
That is it.
So sneak peek.
And you cannot you cannot do these things without having them. So I shared that while ago, sorry.
My bad.
That's okay.
I didn't have to step out.
No, you're good. I shared that while ago though, just in case anybody else was like ordering food or drinks or accidentally had one too many. I'll repeat it again. Because that happens too. And that's okay, you know, as long as you got a brush, you're good to go. But this is going to factor into really teasing out who our audience is, teasing out all of the different platforms and looking into each platform for our demographics, really identifying where our energy needs to be placed, the how many question getting answered for your business, and the algorithm piece of it for your business, right? Because if somebody says the algorithm is this, it's a total lie, because guess what? Every one of your customers look for something different. So customers for me do not look for the same thing that they look for real estate. They're going to be a totally different audience member who looks at totally separate times. So I want you to think about that. It's the person that you're after that's looking, right? So without all of these things that we're doing ahead of time, it becomes really difficult, and then you become that person who's like, maybe I should just post more, right? Don't second guess yourself. Don't be that person. We'll kind of dive into that and include some sneak peeks at some tools that you can use to make your life just a little bit easier, because I think we all could use a little streamlining and help that way.
So, y'all, I got a phone call this afternoon after lunch.
After a great lunch.
Yes. Yeah, after a great lunch. Thank you, Jody. It was my first visit to Avon. Thank you. And she just starts, I answer her phone. This is Diane. How can I help you? So my first, number one piece of advice, do not answer your phone. Hello. If it is on your business card, answer your phone. Hello, who you are and what your business is. And she goes, hello, Diane Kinlaw. I'm so-and-so. And I'm like, what can I do for you? She goes, you have a fan club. So on social media, when we all started sharing and doing, and it's not just Successful Business, but on Ladies of Fuquay and some of the other ones, when you start tagging, and people don't ask, because I'm a lender, there is literally every day on one of the social media pages, does anyone know a really good lender with the best rates? Okay. Yeah. Every day.
Kinlaw.
Real estate agents, all of them. They use the search bar. So doing your times, and Amber has said it over and over and over again. And this call was because of this group today.
Aww.
So having that fan club and uplifting, especially on today's day, made my day.
And if you ever want to join another amazing networking group that is co-ed, it is the
co-ed. The co-ed. I like that. I'll find a different word. You do that? No.
They like pineapples. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I had to. No, not that kind.
Oh, that
pineapple means swingers.
You guys on the front lawn, huh?
Was that the Holly Springs Small Business Network Group.
You're right. Welcome to come.
So it's the Holly Springs Small Business Network Group, right? We started about 3.5 years ago. It was hyper local when we first started, but then it grew over that. So we have people from Lillington all the way to Hillsborough, Durham, all around the area. It's a free. It's a. Yeah, I
go in there, but you can go there.
Basically, I like to say it's a power hour of free networking. We meet the second Wednesday of the month at 9 a.m. at Bombshell Beer Company, female-owned brewery, and then we meet the fourth Wednesday of the month from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. at the co-working station in downtown Hollis Springs. So, and there are people in this group here that already come. Some are new that come now because we've been networking and meeting with people.
And they are the founders of this group, by the way, if they didn't.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm Amber. So ours is different because ours is full-on networking. You better have your 30-second speech because I am starting to really pound it.
And it better be 30 seconds because they will sound an alarm on you. I'm like talking. They're like, meh, 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 meh. I'm like,
what business? It's not your business. It's not who you want to meet. No one knows how to end a 30-second.
Not even me.
No.
I'm on to the second business. I got an extra 30 seconds.
It is a taste so that they want to talk to you. That is all a 30-second is. It is a taste of what you offer and the why in 30 seconds so that I know that I want to talk to you.
You want to peek at the
All it is, and if you guys just remember that, you can nail your 30 seconds.
Yes.
It's a teaser, folks. Teaser.
Can I ask a quick question about the 30 seconds?
Sure.
Should it be more, should it have more emotions or should it have more data?
In my opinion, it's kind of a mix of both, right? I can change my 30 seconds depending to who I am approaching.
Yes.
If I'm in a room of women, my 30 seconds can be very emotional.
Sure.
Cool.
If I am in a room of a mixed group that is business, then I am all business with them.
Okay.
And then I'll tell them facts and figures, whatever they need.
Okay.
And what if you go into a veteran group?
If I go into a veteran group, then, this isn't salesy. This is, I'm going to share that I am a veteran.
Sure.
And what I do for veterans, because veterans support veterans.
Yeah.
And so, that is my main point that I'm going to hit on that.
Another great point, if I may interject, is when someone asks you, they're like, oh, hey, Suzanne, hey, Christine.
Now you're after your 30 seconds, your conversation.
What do you do, right? It's not just like I'm a realtor and I sell homes and my office is in Cary and, call me and this. No, what do? I help your family maintain their current lifestyle if you experience a chronic, critical illness or injury or death. As an independent life insurance agent, blah, 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 blah.
That's like a second level 60 seconds.
It's like, what do you do? We should talk 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, you should be able to tell someone your elevator pitch. So it's not, I'm this, my office is located here, okay, you're a realtor. What do you do? I help families relocating, or I specialize in families relocating from the Northeast to Central North Carolina and help them find the home of their dreams, right? Set yourself apart.
I'm a firm believer too in what I call the 60-20-20 rule, and I see almost all of us do not follow this rule. and we push our business. Hi, I'm Amber, I'm a financial advisor. Hi, I'm Amber, I'm a financial advisor. Wake up on Thursday, I'm a financial advisor. Guess what? No one cares. 16, 20,
They don't like you because you are a financial planner.
Trust me, they don't care. And if you notice, I hardly ever market or advertise my business. 60% of the time, you spend time either investing in other people for no other reason other than to just give selfless love and value, or you spend time letting people know who you are. I cook. I love baseball. These are things. I love these women. These are the things that I do, and I spend 60% of my time they call it your fan base. So your people who love you, who want to follow you around on social media. 20% of the time you should be networking your business visually on social media, and the other 20% of the time, those people who are engaged with you, like I should share your blood drive. The reason why I didn't is because it was in our personal group and we can't share from there, so I was waiting for it to come up on your personal page or your business page. But she follows me, she follows the group, she's engaged with the group. I should take my time to share something that's important to her. Not just take. What?
She knows people that have blood. So
I keep mine, so I can get you others. There you go. So 60, 20, 20. And when you scroll that feed, I'm not saying don't post about your business in the group. Yes, post about your business in the group. Make sure they know who you are and what you do. That's important. I see a lot of people posting, and I'm like, you spent all that time to make all that posting and I still have no clue what you do. And you told me the name of your business, but I have no clue what you do and what you offer. So that 20% of the time, just be very clear. If you're saying words or speaking in a language that's familiar to you and your business, but other people are not experts in that arena, then you should break down what those words mean. But just take time. I challenge you when you leave here, work on your branding buckets. This training or this workshops are going to progress, and trust me, you're going to get plenty of value out of it. But I want you to take some time to just let other people know who you are. Tell them something that you normally wouldn't tell someone. And like Karen says, and I've taken this away recently, and I'm about to attend your class on vulnerability, but how hard is it to be vulnerable? It is so hard. It's hard. But do you want people, exactly, but do you want people to look at you and think that what you're doing is unobtainable, or do you want people to look at you and feel like you're that person next door that they can connect with and have an empathetic connection with? Because those are the people that I want to do business with. And so for me, I'm personally working on vulnerability. It doesn't mean you have to tell people your weakness so that they hurt you, but because I'm going to be very guarded of me. But just like my makeup post, it took me 30 days. I met with Jessica almost 30 days ago, and it took me a while, even though I planned the content. I took photos for 30 days of my face with the makeup. And I was like, oh my God, am I really going to do this? No, you're not going to do this. And Dana Kraft told me that morning. She posted this picture where she was like 300 pounds and she had shrunk, and she was like, Amber, do it. And you have to figure out your own way to let people connect with you. And if you can master that piece instead of, hi, I'm Amber, I'm a financial advisor. Hi, I'm Amber, I'm a financial advisor. Guess what? They don't care. But they do care that I had rosacea and I'm standing there stark naked with I wasn't completely naked. No.
Not in the picture that we could see.
She felt naked. It's my face. But it was just something that I had for such a long time. I suffered from rosacea and KP. And so for me, I would have never left my house or let anyone come over without that makeup. So I felt like I had freed myself.
Well, aren't you tired of seeing so many people post so much positivity on Facebook, and you know that's not their real life?
Right.
So let's just be real and expose ourselves, and we can all come together and help one another.
And that's Karen with development.
When is your vulnerability class?
On the 15th.
And you have a couple of other classes too that
coming up on Friday is the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership.
Woo.
It's totally free.
I'm in that.
It's a book club, and so we're doing the first 3 laws
You said Friday, right?
Friday at noon.
I started reading last night.
Yeah. I got my book. It's in my book.
But like, I don't know about anyone else. Like for me, when we did Inspire, like I share some of my vulnerable, which is something I've never done.
Oh my
and
God.
I don't do it since. I have not done it since. I did it. I'm done. I exposed my innermost fears and crap that I've been through, and I have not, and I don't know how to bring that into my persona, except that those that know me and my clients who get to meet me, I share with them that I've been there. You know what I mean? And I'm not afraid to share with a client one-on-one on why I've been in that circumstance. But I did want to add one thing before we all leave today. If you have a referral partner who you are sending business to all the freaking time, are they reciprocating? And if they are not reciprocating, you need to have a conversation with them that is very straightforward, that says, hey, I've sent you 3 clients in the last 3 weeks. I just need to know, do you have another, and I'm going to use me as an example, but another real estate agent that you're referring business to? Because if I'm sending all these deals to a home inspector, to a termite company, to a whatever it is, a attorney, I need to know that they have me back, and that's going to come back to me. Yes, I understand they might have other partners, Diane.
Right.
However,
Introductions. I was going to say.
there's not a, that's exactly right.
Introductions.
But I do think giving that introduction to me is giving me one of 3 opportunities. I have to win the deal myself, but give me 3 opportunities if you're referring to other people. And if you can't have that conversation with your referral partners, I'm promising you, if you look back over your database, they're not your referral partners.
It's true.
You're sending them business, but they are not a referral partner, you guys. And that would be one thing that I would challenge you to. If you want to look into your I can'ts buckets or whatever it is we were calling it, garbage buckets where you refer it out, look over the business that you've received from people. So it's going to help you identify your receiving partners who are actually taking care of you and take care of them. And then look over the business you've sent out and make sure that every time you are sending out a referral, that person knows where that referral is coming from. That was one of the biggest things I missed in my business for 10 years. I've been doing this for 16 years. Anyone need a drink? But for 10 years, I did not think to ask or to tell someone, sending you someone for lawn care, sending you someone for a commercial deal, sending you someone for insurance, Christine. I should have been doing that, and I should have been giving them the names so that they knew where every bit of their business was coming from. If a team member on my team sends business, I tell them, you make sure they know that's coming from Absure Realty Group. Because I want to be,
I track it both ways. I track what I send out, and I track what comes in on a spreadsheet. I do not use a huge.
But you should, and of course she does.
Those are great tips. I love those.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's super important, but don't be afraid to, I'm going to say it like it is. We can be honest in here.
We're business women.
I had a CPA I was referring business to for 10 years. I refer her $40,000 to $50,000 of business every single year. She drives around in a Maserati. I sat down with her. I said, hey, look, this is a good idea. Let's have a questionnaire. And if they check one of these buckets, they come back to me. If they check one of these buckets, they come back to you. Nothing. Well, I know you're a successful CPA. I know your people need retirement planning or financial advisors. So I literally made a post on social media saying that I was interviewing for my referral partner, and I'm specifically looking for a CPA because those are business leads that I get in the door every single day. And I interviewed 4, and I picked the one that agreed to send business back to me, and she's literally sent me 10 leads, and I've sent her 6, and she's credible. She's in multiple states. I mean, it works out great. Yes, but be serious about it because
we're timid as women about that conversation of, I'm doing this for you, what are you going to do for me? Because we feel like that feels like a quid pro quo, grimy, kind of dirty. But if your ethics are there, and it's not that you're going to send someone to someone who is not up to your par or your expectations, and that they are a good match for your clients, there's nothing wrong with setting that expectation back with them.
It's a partnership.
It's a partnership. It's a business partnership.
If we're business, right? We wouldn't think twice about 50 men in this room going, what can you do for me?
Exactly.
We're like, okay, that's normal.
But we have to be humble. Guess what? There's a time to be humble and there's a time to do business. And we have those business conversations at the big boy table just like that.
I will tell you one of my favorite conversations with Amber, which I think is super important. Amber and I will talk about things, and she sometimes when we talk about things, she'll preclude it with this a business conversation.
Francie?
We could be all frenzy and stuff, but she might have a hint from me or a tip from me in business, and she'll go, can we have a business conversation? And I know when we're having a business conversation, I don't get to walk away pissed off. We're having a business conversation. She's got a tip for me or something that she thinks that might help me. You all should be able to have business conversation with your female partners in business.
I feel like you almost have to prelude that sometimes with women because as women, we're afraid to be judged as not humble or not meek or not kind. But why can't I be kind, help the community, give back to women, empower women, and sit down at a conference table and have a business conversation? And we should be able to do that.
And then go have drinks afterwards.
And tequila with Kat. By the way, Frankie's been in my pocket. I'm keeping it. I'll make a big one. We're good. I'm not being. Okay, we're gonna sing our theme song now. I hope everyone's practiced and ready. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Everyone. So Amber's doing a solo.
That's the only solo I have ever done.
I was gonna say Amber's doing a solo because I'm not So stay tuned on the group. We're going to be dropping a couple little tidbits as we're leading up to next week. So you want to check them out. One's already dropped. So schedule that? No, I didn't. I just did it up here because I'm good like that. No. Because I have a phone addiction, okay? Let's just be honest.
We have the pickle chips.
Who had those? I want to sit with you.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell, I'm sorry, why I got you here. A few things. So, we've been working on a Rolodex because it's hard for me to refer y'all because no matter how many times I tell you guys to label your business on your personal Facebook page, people still don't do it. So I can't search you at the top of the group. If I typed in mortgage lender, Diane Kinlaw will pull up. But no one else does. Thankfully for Diane Kinlaw, she wins the race, right? So the Rolodex that I was looking at cost way too much money and we don't generate income yet. So the girls and I were looking and there's tabs across the Facebook page that one of them we were playing around with is called mentorship. Ignore the word mentorship, it's really our Rolodex. And if you look if you hit the mentorship button, you'll see these little business cards for all of the women. So it's got your face, your profile picture, your contact information.
With the ones that didn't have mentorship. Someone made a suggestion.
Cobb salad. So I reached out to Facebook and they told me to undownload Facebook and re-download it. I was like, what's that? Lynn's profile. Has nothing to do with Lynn's profile. So, and Tracy Watson doesn't have it either. But this is important. So listen up because I know I'm going to get a ton of messages when you put your information there. So the only negative downfall about this quote-unquote mentorship is really just a Rolodex. That's all we're supposed to give award. But when you connect with someone there, so you say, it says on the bottom, send a message. When you do that, it is going to send you all of these instructions for the next few weeks. You should connect with your person. You're in a mentorship agreement for the next 6 to 8 weeks. No, you're not. So just ignore the extra messages that it's going to send you, and some of it's good advice. You should connect with your person for the next 6 to 8 weeks, honestly. But no one's holding you to the fire.
But the other thing on that mentorship page, there's a tagged post at the top of the page that so many of you are not taking advantage of, and that makes me know that you do not have our group of people and your referral partners in your phone. So if you look at the tagged posts and tagged announcements at the top of the page, there's an option at the top of the page telling you, give us a little bit about yourself, tag your Instagram, tag your Facebook, tag your Twitter, tag your LinkedIn, and put it in that post so that we can program it in our phones. I cannot refer you if you don't have a phone number. And you know, tagging, everyone's like, oh, they can tag my business. Let me tell you what, who gets the business? If I have a referral coming to me and I see Kinlaw Mortgage, and I see Becky Smith Mortgage 919-755, who am I calling? Kinlaw. I'm going to call the one. I'm going to call the one who makes it easy for me to reach out. Make it easy for us to refer you. Fill that out so we can save your numbers in our phone, so I can call you if I'm not ready.
She's back there though.